Hey everybody, how's it going? So I wanted to do a bit of a recap on 2025, just do a bit of a check-in, just share about how I've been doing and my thoughts on the channel. My name is Matt Mike. I'm a former teacher turned data analyst, and I make content on how to start and accelerate a career in data. I wanted to do this yearly check-in, let people know how I've been doing. I think last time I did this, it was like January, February of 2025. Not a lot of people tune into these videos. I don't expect many people will for this one. In fact, it was one of the worst videos my channel's ever done in terms of views. The engagement was great. I had a lot of people surprisingly reach out to me. I had people, well, one person sign up for my coaching as a result. I had other creators that I hadn't really had a one-on-one conversation with before reach out to me just to share what it meant to them. So this isn't gonna be like this awesome thousands and thousands of views video, kind of remove the veil a little bit. So if you noticed, I wasn't very present on social media during the month of December. First thing I want to talk about, I wanted to just share a little bit about my life and share about my content, share about how my creator business has been doing and what I'm thinking for the year ahead. So 2025, it was a pretty hectic year. In March of last year, my family and I moved to Sacramento, California. And it was a big move for us. We've been in Phoenix for the last 10 years, but we had moved there to be closer to my wife's family. Now, we have two kids. We have a 1-year-old son, 3-year-old daughter, and so at the time our son was just a few months old. You know, we had so many friends over here who have family help. They live close to family, and it seems to really benefit them. And we had always wondered what it would be like we had the same. So we moved to California to be close to my wife's family. And what we thought was going to be this really great dynamic, living close to grandparents and having family close by. Two of my wife's sisters were also out there as well. It was not what we expected. So I don't want to share too many details or anything, you know, that's not the point of this, but it didn't work out. So 6 months after moving there, we moved back to Arizona. So 2 cross-state moves within 1 year with our little kids and all the pets that we have. And before we had moved, I actually lost my job. So 2024, I had gotten what I thought was gonna be a dream job for me. It was an ed tech platform for helping people learn data skills and all that. They had a live cohort that I was in charge of. So this was pretty big because I was moving from being a very technical, boots on the ground analyst into more of like an educator role with a startup. I did some analytics. Again, it was like a 20-person team. So there was still a small need for analytics in some areas. Now, we had a couple engineers on that team. They ended up cutting the program because it just wasn't profitable enough to justify the expenses within the business. So I was cut. While we were in Sacramento, kind of adjusting to this new place, I lost my job. That was a pretty stressful time. We had to take our kids almost completely out of daycare, so I was job hunting while watching them. My focus was pretty divided. And at the time too, I was also considering if I should just go full-time on content, but I just didn't feel confident enough in what I wanted to do with content or my business to do it full-time, essentially. And with 2 young kids, I wanted the security of having a job. I also kind of feel like I've only been in a very technical analytics role for like a few years. I wanted to spend more time in the field as an analyst and take that more secure route rather than going full-time into content creation. Back on the job market, and I ended up landing a job. I should say I moved to Phoenix before I had a job, and my wife even quit her job as a PA so that she could find a new one out there. So we both left our jobs, moved to Arizona, kind of started over. It was a really crazy experience. And you know, with the family stuff, we had that clarity now that having family physically close to us just wasn't in the cards for us, and that's okay. We knew that we gave it our best effort and we didn't have to ask like what if anymore. It really worked out. Came back and thankfully we both found jobs pretty quickly. I mean, the PA market is hot, so my wife got multiple offers. She found a job within weeks. It was crazy. Her callback ratio on applications was like 50%. And I found a job pretty quickly too as a Power BI developer. And I'm working with this big coffee company chain that I've been a fan of for years, even before I started working there. Follow my content or pay attention to what I've done professionally. Power BI has always kind of been my bread and butter. The opportunity to be an explicit Power BI developer was one that I was really excited about. And also too, I've had kind of Power BI specific roles, which, side note, I'll talk more about this in a future video, but niching down what you want to do specifically as an analyst, I've seen has way better results than just marketing yourself as like a broad analyst. So a little nugget for you if you're in the job hunt right now. We're back in Arizona. We've been here for a few months now, settling in. Just got an offer accepted on a house. Things are moving quickly, but we're so glad that we moved back. We really are. Arizona, it was 100% the right move for us. And maybe someday in the future when our kids are older, we might move elsewhere, but things are really good now, despite how crazy it was for the year. It was a crazy year, but it was a very bonding year for my family. We all got really close as a result and spent a lot of quality time together. But now I want to talk a little bit about content side of life. So like I mentioned, I took a bit of a hiatus from content in December. Just a few weeks, but it was the longest break from content I've had in the 3+ years that I've been creating content. And the reason I did that was I was just facing extreme creator burnout. If I'm being honest, I still feel a little burnt out, but feeling better than I did. I just realized I haven't been wearing my ring this whole time. Pop that on. Yes, I am married to my wife, as I mentioned, so there's the ring. Content creation is a hamster wheel, and I was in a place where I just had run out of ideas. Didn't know what to talk about anymore. Didn't know if I still wanted to even talk about data anymore. I felt like almost like disgust when I would hop on social media. It's exhausting. And if you're not careful, content creation can be like all consuming because you're always checking your stats, notifications, responding to comments and messages and stuff like that. And I'm on more platforms than just YouTube. So you're creating content for multiple platforms and interacting with people in all of those. The biggest struggle is always sustainability, 100%. And I have seen so many creators just burn out and just fade into the ether, never to be seen again. And I thought for a second maybe that was gonna happen to me. I love content creation and I wanna keep going with it. I do want to expand my content, but I haven't been 100% sure how. But I'm thinking, I might want to experiment with some new things in 2026. I'd like to do more kind of entertaining content, like in the form of shorts, funny stuff. I want to talk about more career-focused content outside of just data. I've been in the working world for 10 years now, most of that in corporate, and I feel like I have a lot to share there just about how to navigate corporate and navigate a career and career shift. And I want to maybe take some broad strokes with that, with both really helpful content and maybe even just some like entertaining content. I don't know, but I want to experiment a bit. So you may see some kind of like different stuff in the future, not like super different, but different. But my main goal for content this year is just to stay consistent. I think there's a lot of room for me to have like better routines. You may notice, especially with YouTube, that my schedule is kind of all over the place. Like I don't post, exactly 7 days apart every week. It's a little sporadic at times, and that's mainly a result of just not being super organized with it all. I have a full-time job. I have 2 kids, so the only time to create content is like in the evening or in the morning, and there's like very small windows, or the weekends. Right now I'm recording on a weekend, trying to stay consistent with recording on weekends, but I just want to be consistent and keep trying to show up as my authentic self. I feel like sometimes I come across to the camera very kind of buttoned up and put together, and sometimes it feels like you have to be that way when you're trying to create like snappy content. That's not really like who I am. I'm like a really weird, zany, quirky, goofy guy, and I feel like I just do not, like that does not come across to the camera like enough. And with creating more content, there's like you get more comfortable, there's more opportunity to say and show more But the other side of that too is like the intentionality when I'm on camera and trying to show more of my personality in that. And I want to share, just to kind of like wrap up the video, a little bit about the business side of all this, a little bit behind the veil there. So I mean, for starters, like I do have a business that's content driven, and it's like a creator business. So I do some coaching, I do some sponsorships, I sell digital products and stuff, and you probably will see a lot more of that on platforms like LinkedIn if you follow me there. 2025 was a good year for all that. It's a pretty killer year. I did 4 times as much as I did in the prior year, which I'm pretty happy about. I don't want to like share specific numbers here, but I might post about it on like LinkedIn or something. Things like really gained a lot of momentum during 2025, especially like working with brands and stuff like that. So I mean, to be perfectly honest, like I do work with some brands. I know sometimes people look down on that, but it could be a very harmonious relationship if I'm talking about a brand that I feel like does align with my content very well. It's a way for me to be supported in the work that I put into these videos. I mean, these videos take a lot of time. It's a lot of time to ideate, come up with scripts, record, edit. I work with an editor that I pay, and posting and engaging, like it's so much. So it is nice when you can like have a little bit come your way in the form of brands. But the tricky thing with that is like there's a temptation to work with brands that don't align with your audience just because you want the paycheck, right? And I've been guilty of that in the past, and I'm trying to work on that and like have the discipline to say no to brands that I don't feel like really make sense for the audience, and only stick with brands that do. And to be honest, when I do stick with the brands that do make sense for my content and my audience, the content does a lot better, and it's way more of a win-win for me and the brand. So it just makes sense to do that anyways, but sometimes you gotta say no to certain deals, like if I'm being perfectly honest. But I hit a point towards the latter half of 2025, and I'm like not trying to brag, I'm just being transparent, but like I would just get so many brands reach out to me. It was kind of amazing. I guess my content was at this place where like so many brands would reach out to me for like legitimate deals. I like literally was just not able to like create enough content to fit them all in. All that to say, like sponsorships were pretty huge for me in 2025. Coaching was okay, but better than it's been. I do enjoy doing coaching for the most part. I worked with some awesome clients in 2025 and still am working with some of those awesome clients even now, which by the way, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, check the link in the description and when we could chat and see if it's a good fit for you. I also launched a product, a course I had been wanting to publish for a long time. It didn't do as well as I expected. I suspect that maybe the content of the course was maybe less in demand as it was at one point. There's still people that bought it, and I still got good feedback on it, but I expected way more of a response. So some of that could have been the marketing, the landing page, the funnels, whatever. This isn't a business channel, so I'm not going to get into all that. In 2026, I want to create some sort of digital product, whether it's like an ebook or a course that's more focused on already established data analysts and how to like succeed in your role better. Things like stakeholder requirement gathering, how to like go about creating a good dashboard start to finish, like getting the requirements you need, which is pretty huge, juggling multiple requests, timelines, best practices for building those dashboards, presenting how to work with your colleagues and stakeholders, stuff like that, which I feel like there's a lot less courses or books or content like covering. So if you think that would be a good idea, let me know in the comments or shoot me a message or email or whatever. I'd love to hear what you think. But that's something I'm thinking of doing for the new year, kind of have a different product that I'm providing to people. And I think that might be the approach I take there. That's kind of the big stroke summary of what's happened in my life in the last year, where I'm at with content, business, and what I'm thinking for the future. And I mean, if you stuck around this long in the video, I mean, you're one of the real ones. Thank you. I'm grateful that you would take the time to listen, hear my thoughts. I want to take this opportunity to say too that like I've been really blown away by just having this YouTube channel. I don't have a ton of subscribers, but I get people who reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me or set up a call with me or whatever and share that, like, you know, they've binged my videos, or they've been watching my videos for months, or that they found me through Google or like a chat GPT response or something. And like, it freaking blows me away that like my tiny little channel is actually being watched by people like you. And it feels so special to me. Like, it makes me want to put more effort into the channel, make it better, create more content, to like have that connection with viewers like you through the camera, like through the video. You know, sometimes I feel like these videos, it's almost like a personal counseling session or therapy session where I could just like a video journal almost. So I could just talk out loud about things. So if anything, I get a lot of value from it. But I hope you did too. I hope there's something here that like resonates with you, or you could relate in some way. Again, if it does, please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, stay tuned. Lots more content coming, and I'm looking forward to what the new year brings. And I'll catch you in the next one. All right.